Hey everyone, welcome to another holiday bonus edition of Security Spotlight. So we know that this time of year, you have a lot of merchandise in your stores, you're trying to drive sales, and you are focused, right?
Right, not only are you stocking up for the customers and getting ready for sales, the bad guys know you're stocking up and getting ready for burglaries.
Absolutely. So what we're going to talk about right now is we're going to talk about some of the strategies and tactics you can deploy in order to better protect your business.
And they don't cost you anything.
Absolutely.
Right.
Free of charge.
Right. So this holiday season, JC, there's some critical things we know work versus the strategies burglars are putting in place to burglarize and victimize our FFLs. We've been watching the trends across the country all year. So what are some of the key things any FFL can do today without spending money to prevent burglaries this holiday season?
Sure, JB. So here's the first thing that you can do. The absolute vital thing that you can do that protects those four walls, test that alarm system. Get out there and make sure all of those components work. There are processes for it depending on your provider. Sometimes you call in and sometimes you just enter a test on the keypad. But in the end, you want to make sure that you're testing your alarm system.
Right. Just last week we had 2 FFLs victimized where they claimed, quote unquote, the alarm company failed us. And we don't want that to happen to you. So get your testing in place. Do a walk test at least, make sure your devices work, and then do a central station test and make sure it's communicating properly right through to the police station if necessary.
Absolutely. You want to make sure both of those communication systems, if you have a cellular backup, you want to test that cellular backup and make sure it's communicating as well. That is essential. We've seen it happen. They cut those phone lines.
Right. And another way, John, that we can prevent burglaries this holiday season is guarding against smash and grabs. You know, we still see it occurring week after week that bad guys are stealing vehicles and using a stolen vehicle to smash through the front of vulnerable FFLs where there may not be boulders or bollards in place to prevent that from occurring. Do you have any recommendations for what to do in the meantime?
Absolutely. So you know what? If you don't have the availability, don't have the opportunity to get those bollards or boulders put in place, you know, there are a number of different solutions. If your FFL has a trailer, or if your FFL has some sort of work van or a delivery van, anything like that, park it in front of those front doors. If there's extra vehicles that you may have, park them in front of your front doors. There are a number of strategies you can deploy to prevent that glass. The glass is your most vulnerable part of your business. That's the most vulnerable part of the infrastructure on the exterior perimeter of your building.
Right, and that doesn't cost anything. So now you've got your vehicles out front, you got your alarm system tested. Now I can also leave the lights on.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So you want to do one of two things. Well, actually you want to do both things. You want to leave lights on inside and you want to leave lights on outside. If anything is visible from the street, you want to light it up. You want to make sure that any type of behavior, any type of activity around your building outside of normal operating hours is easily detectable by somebody driving by.
Right, not only somebody driving by, but make it appear as if staff may be working overnight. This is holiday season. There's lots of retailers that are running over 24-hour staffs. Make your store look and appear to be one of those where people will go someplace else to commit a burglary and maybe try to steal some guns.
Sure,
right?
absolutely. And you want to put up that signage. Throw that signage up out at the curb. The building is protected. The building, you know, the alarm company has complete visibility of the building 24 hours a day. There are little things that you can do to throw up that signage that just alerts them, hey, listen, this is an easy target. It's better to go down the street and try somebody else than me.
One of the best signs I've seen this year, and I've shared this with most of you, is that simple sign in the front window that says, all firearms secured after hours. Now, and use some deviations from that. You can say secured in safes, you can say secured in the vault, you can say inaccessible, but put that sign in the front window. Believe it or not, that deters burglaries. We've seen it happen. Whether you're doing it or not is up to you, but put the sign right in the front window. We've had many FFL clients pilfered and burglarized, only for the bad guy not to find the guns inside, causing thousands and thousands of dollars worth of damage to the front end, to the glass, and headache to you. So put that sign in the front window, make it up yourself, work it on a printer, have your local printer do it if you want to, but put that sign out front that says, you're not going to get guns if you break in here.
Sure, and JB, one of the other easy things going back to alarm systems, reduce that time to alarm. So ingress, egress, entry, exit, open, close. the amount of time that it takes that alarm to be set off and actually deliver an alert or a message to your central station is key. You want to reduce that time down as much as humanly possible. JB and I recommend 15 seconds. 15 to 20 seconds is pretty good. Just remember, right now you're probably at 45 seconds on average, maybe 60, but average is 45. So that's key. That's essential. You reduce down that time 30 seconds. That's 30 seconds less time they have in your building.
Right. And one thing we want to tell you to remember to do is always greet your customer. If you're not familiar with your customer, make sure you're making eye contact, introducing yourself, acknowledge that person. This time of year, we have gangs traveling across the country, casing your place for pilferage and deciding where they're going to hit next. And they're not hitting one or two in an area and leaving, they're hitting 3 and 4. So make sure your location is not vulnerable to bad guys and criminals who may be casing. Say hello, greet people, deter them, recognize them. That's the one thing the bad guy doesn't want to have done to him or her, is be recognized when they're visiting your place and location of casing.
That's right, JB. You want to go for that customer engagement. They're coming into your store and they're looking at everything other than what they should be. The firearms. Everybody that walks into a firearms store, that's one of the first things they take a look at. If they're interested in firearms, they want to see what kind of deals you're making. So, you know what? If that individual's walking in the store and they're paying attention to everything other than the firearms, definitely there's some suspicious activity that you need to be alerted to.
Again, none of this costs any money. We want you to do this as best practice. And last but not least, this holiday season, have your plan. If you haven't stopped with your management team and your staff to decide what your plan would be to manage through a burglary, manage through a robbery, manage through a straw purchase, discuss, and in a simple way, discuss. You don't have to have everything written in writing, but discuss who would do what at the time of the issue and the occurrence. It might be a burglary in the middle of the night. It might be the alarm call where someone responds and finds a stolen vehicle through the front, a glass broken, or firearms missing. Who do I call? Is my emergency contact list updated? How do I react with the police? Who else is going to be available? And we know that most burglaries that happen and occur on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday nights. That's been the trend all year. It's been the trend for years. That's when you're most vulnerable and we're least expecting something to happen. And for a variety of reasons, it's happening on those evenings. So be ready, be prepared, answer that call in the middle of the night when the alarm company calls, and make sure you're prepared and your team is prepared.
And don't forget to engage your local law enforcement. They can help significantly with these things. A lot of times what you'll find with local law enforcement is they have shift commanders or somebody who is the supervisor on at nights. Let them know that, hey, these are our points of contact, and introduce them. Invite them into your store. Introduce them to the managers or leads or the individuals that are going to be responding, so they have that rapport, they have that relationship to know when something's going on.
Right.
And open up your wireless network. Very, very easy thing to do, cheap and easy. Open up your wireless network, even on a guest network, and give law enforcement the access to it so they can sit in your parking lot at night and do their reports. Or if you're in a very congested, heavily traveled area, they can sit in your parking lot, do reports, and actually watch the goings on in the local area. So these are some of the key things that you can do to better protect your business during that holiday season. So hey, listen, this is another holiday tip security spotlight from FFL Consultants. We look forward to seeing you and hearing from you. So check us out on Facebook.
And find out more information for you and your team at fflconsultants.com. Happy holidays.